Call the meeting to order here. Let's see. We got everybody?
We got everybody.
Got everybody. Okay.
What about John?
Yeah, he's here.
John's there. He's in my lower corner. I don't know about you guys, but
Yep, I see him.
yep, you see
I
him.
don't see him.
Nikki's there. Welcome, Nikki. Margaret's here. Richard, myself, Mike, and the AV room.
Yes.
Yeah, the snow missed Mike.
So we do have a quorum. Meeting could proceed. We'll take a look at the agenda. Additions to the agenda. I do have one under D. Add Moose Lodge update. We should probably get a little update on that.
The other thing, Pete.
Yeah.
That's not on there.
Yeah.
And we were promised we were going to have 4 of them this month.
4 of them. Okay. 4
That's
what?
the minutes. Previous.
Yeah. So
Promise.
when I sent out the Zoom invite, I thought I attached everything with it, and so Margaret pointed out that I forgot. So you don't have the minutes yet, but they are done.
Oh, okay.
We will lump it. You'll have 5 next time because they're done.
Okay.
I just didn't get them attached to the email.
And the other thing, Pete, even the latest piece that he put out, there's no information on any of the new topic stuff. And I know the other commissions have reports on a lot of the stuff that they have. And all we get is a one-liner.
Where were there? I think Mike said there was supposed to be some attachments too. He said so. There should have been some extra stuff, I guess.
I think we should maybe tack on the August 2000, where it's the National or Historic Preservation Plan for Maplewood.
Put under new business or
Anywhere, because I think we have to go through, update our ordinance and what have you. And we may need the lawyer for it too.
And I'll give a brief commission presentation at F. And then another thing I have to change under new business 2, North Fire Station, put in parentheses North Hazelwood Fire Station. Because North is a pretty recent naming for that station. It's more generally known as Hazelwood.
And the other more recent deal, they changed the number from station 7 to 3. Which
I am going to go with the numbers. The numbers are always confusing to me.
When you've been on the department for as many years and was instrumental in getting some of the fire department stuff out.
Sure. That's insider baseball stuff there. Any other additions to the agenda? Anyone? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I move.
Margaret makes the motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Jason makes a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
I'm kind of waiting until we get all the proper information.
Is that an aye or a nay there, Richard?
That's
or
a
abstain?
Almost a nay.
It's a nay. All right, so we have
Always a nay with Richard.
one nay of Richard. Okay. Going on to C1, St. Paul Regional Water Project discussion. I got a little background, and Mike, I don't know if you have something to share.
I can, if you want to. I was going to share a little bit of the video that we have that they shared with us, and then if you have something that you want to share, I can make you a host, and you tell me what you'd like to do.
Well, let's see. Let me think here for a second. Yeah, I mean, I have my. Let's see.
Well, I got the pictures you sent me.
Huh?
I got the pictures you sent me. You want me to share those?
Yeah, share the pictures, and if you got my draft, kind of not really resolution, but this discussion points I came up with.
Well, I'll do the discussion points first.
Okay. Yeah, let's give the background first.
Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
I'll make it bigger.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So we were contacted, a intrepid Pioneer Press reporter reached out to the commission to ask about if we knew anything about the plan at the St. Paul Regional Water Service building. This is at Rice and Larpenteur, between Larpenteur and, is it Roselawn? There's plans to demolish the existing building and build a new one. And I didn't talk to the reporter. I know Bob did and Richard did. I didn't have much to say because I didn't know anything about it at all, so I couldn't really comment on it. So there was a good article in the paper on it, and then they updated their webpage to include more information. So if you go to that link there, if the commissioners, well, we can probably send this out later. Okay, go to it now too.
Sure. I'll just show you where it is.
Okay. So they got kind of a little bit of information. That's the plant in question. I know some of the commissioners have probably toured it. I've never toured it. I always missed out on the tours. This isn't happening right away, even though the plan has been in place since 2019, when it was out to bid for people to, I guess, plans for the construction and demolition. I did find out that SHPO has already been contacted by this. Mike, did anybody from SHPO reach out to the city yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so SHPO is aware of it and is working with the folks at the waterworks. And I came up with some talking points in coordination with SHPO, and I'm not sure what SHPO is planning. I'm not sure who it is with SHPO yet either. I'm hoping we find out. Eventually, they'll have to tell us, I think, since we're a certified local government. So there's a lot of history with this. It was in the 1983 Historic Sites Survey of St. Paul and Ramsey County. That was a great survey done by Ramsey County of many historical items in the county, including Maplewood. And then it also appeared in our, I had it here a second ago, our, let's see if I can read my own writing here. It was in page 41 of our context study. And actually there's a picture of the water plant on the cover of our context study that we did in 2014. Does all commissioners have a copy of that context study?
Well, and also, Pete, just before Jenny left the commission and retired, we tried to get the city water department to get it so we could put it on our historic preservation. They says, well, let's wait because we want to do some remodeling.
Okay. But does everybody have a copy of the context study?
It's all we know. It's all we know.
Who's not on mute and should be?
I'll assume that not everybody has. Hang on a second. I'm going to grab the context study. Hang on.
I didn't know we were getting a concert tonight.
I got it here somewhere. Where did I do with the context study?
Sunday.
Only on Zoom, right? This is the context study. Bob, could you put yourself on mute for a little bit? Bob Cardinal? Mr. Cardinal?
I think he's trying.
I know he's trying. Okay. So this is what it looks like. And Mike, you probably can email a copy. Do you have a copy? You can email to everybody. They should have this.
Yeah, it's linked on our website. And so what I'll do is I'll share this. So this is the link. It's the context study
Perfect.
there.
Okay. If the commissioners haven't seen this yet, it's been a few years. A lot of great work went into this, and the waterworks is in part of this study. So you can read up on it. A lot of familiar places in the study page. There it is. So
Yep.
you got a good picture in there. Lots of old history there, and basically, only my discussion points tonight is we'll work with SHPO, and at the very least, I hope they're doing a good book on the waterworks, and to keep an eye out for any historical items with that building. Bob Jensen and Mike Erickson of the Maplewood Historical Society knows about the project too. So I'm hoping that there'll be more discussion on trying to find out more of the plans, I guess, of what's going on and what's their plan to do any kind of historical documentation with it. I'm looking forward to a nice book because they could go back to the 1860s with the waterworks. So it'd be great to have a nice history of it. They have a pamphlet, but not really a good book on it. So
Yeah, but Pete,
yeah,
technically, because we are the commission in Maplewood, it's somewhat our job to get it moving onto our list. It's not the society. We are a commission, not
sure.
and then the state can take it if they want to put it on the national registry.
Well, I could, well, at the very least for now, if you'd like to I could make a recommendation of my talking points 1 through 4. We could give that to the council. So at least they know what we're up to here and start with that.
We have to basically, we recommend to the council, our goal is to put that on our historic preservation.
Well,
but there again, it all goes back to what on the 2000, August of 2000, what the city council voted for us to have enacted, which some of it got in, some of it kind of got left on the wayside that we never put anything in our ordinance about it.
Well, Richard, I would like to make a motion to recommend to the city council the points that are in this document 1 through 4, and then we'll go from there. This won't be the end. This is just a start. So it's a county, city, St. Paul. I mean, it's a multi-jurisdiction property. So I'm hoping the Ramsey County Historical Society is involved with this because they would have a lot to say about it too. So this is a start on our level, and we got the state and the county to work with too on this. So this is just the beginning. So I'm throwing it out there. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I think Richard second. So now we can do more discussion on this. And this is a start. There's a lot we don't know yet with this whole thing. So I would like, the reason why I wanted to get going quick on this in case plans get too far down the road on this thing and we got to have something to the council, fairly soon. So we're involved with it. I don't want our commission to be left out of this project. So, does other commissioners have thoughts too?
Yeah, Pete.
Yes, Bob.
I think you're right. We've got to get up to speed on this, or at least where the city is, to know what's going on and just to work with them.
Yeah.
Because I think we're in the dark, and the whole community's in the dark on it. So we have to, be informed, and I don't know how to enforce that or bring that about, but we'll express that.
Okay. Other commissioners' thoughts on it? I mean, we can. I'd like to hear what the city would have to say when they get this. I mean, they've known about this for a while. This isn't like a surprise, So this is our way of saying yes, we know what's going on a little bit. So tell us more. Get us involved, on this thing. So Anybody else?
Hey, this is me, Nikki, for a sec. I was just going to add whatever you guys want me to help you with. Just let me know or advocate for. Let me know.
Okay, absolutely. I guess we got to have our ears open on this thing and find out more. Because all I know is what's on the website and what that Pioneer Press reporter told me. So I could cite the Pioneer Press reporter, but I'd rather cite official documents too. Give kudos to him for sniffing us out, though. Good job
Right.
on his part.
No kidding.
I'll wait till Bob comes back if we want to vote on it. I think Bob ducked out for a second.
I heard a dog barking.
Oh, dog barking. Maybe that's a.
Yeah, it was
package.
mine.
What
I
now?
have my doorbell.
Oh, is
right
it? Okay.
now. Otherwise,
Okay. Well, we'll wait till Bob comes back. One thing that while we're waiting for Bob, there's one really neat thing that could be there. The largest four-way casting made west of Chicago by the St. Paul Plow Works was made for the waterworks, and I'm guessing it might be on their premises somewhere. So when they dig things up, they find it's giant, it's huge. So if they find this thing, at the very least, they should get some good pictures of it before they wreck it, because it's quite an amazing piece of ironwork. So it could be there underneath that structure somewhere. I don't know. It's a big place. And then Richard brought up the park, and that's one thing I want to maybe put in there too. Eventually, is discuss the park. What's the future of that? There used to be a great park there, and Bob, you remember it, I'm guessing, and Richard remembers it. I don't remember it. It was kind of before my time, but I heard
It was called Thompson's Park.
Thompson's Park. Okay, good. So that's something to ask about too. Is what's the future of Thompson's Park? I don't know.
The reason they closed it off was because they had the threat when they were bombing the
Security,
New
right?
York. They
Okay.
were figuring somebody could get into the water system that way. Because underneath the park is there are big water tanks under there.
Yeah, and I was bringing up. Yeah, I was wondering if that big cistern pipe is still there. That's what I'm wondering about. It'd be kind of neat to see it. I've seen sketches of it. It'd be neat to see what it really looks like. You could stand in the thing and put your arms up. It's huge. Might as well take a vote if there's any more discussion.
Pete, I think Nikki's consented to help us on this. I think, Nikki, this is probably, as big a deal as we could come upon this year. So I think if you could keep us abreast of what's happening and maybe emphasize that to you don't have to tell them, just know that we should be on top of this thing, because if we don't recognize what's happening, it's going to go away, and we should be alert to what's happening there. And it's, people identify with that with Maplewood and they recognize it. So, and Pete's right. It's more than just Maplewood. It was there before Maplewood came about.
Yeah.
So it's affecting Ramsey County tremendously. And so if you could help us out on that, Nikki, just a mental note to yourself, anything that appears, bring it to us. And I don't think there's anything as important as this that we'll address this year as it comes forward.
Well, that water system was put together by James J. Hill. That he ran it from up above Coon Rapids down through Sucker Creek and all the way down to Vadnais, and then in. They also, I was told, made a second one. Basically, it was White Bear down to Jarvis and Sucker and Coleman Lake, and to Phelan, and then they ran it to Sweet Hollow. That they could, if they had to, they could tap into Phelan and pump it over to the waterworks company, complex.
This is why I can't wait. I hope they do a book. There's a lot they can tell.
So after your vote, I do have a little video that St. Paul Regional Water did on the history of the whole system. So I can,
Okay.
you vote, and I'll play the video.
Let's take our vote. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, Mike, you can
Aye.
deliver that
So-
to the council.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll make that a council agenda item.
Okay.
As a standalone item, and then invite Pete, you can kind of present the rationale behind it and what you'd like to see the city council do. But I'm going to play the video and I'm going to share my sound so you can get that. Can everybody see that picture?
Yes.
Now I can.
Yeah.
Everything we do as people on the land affects the water.
And we're fortunate to live in such a water-rich state.
Where does your water come from? Everyone will say, the tap. It's a combination of natural and artificial plumbing that brings that water to your tap.
You know, when I'm in the boundary waters and I have to pump the water through my little hand filter, I get back into civilization, and the first time I turn on that tap, it feels like magic. But then that wears off and you kind of get used to daily life again.
So let's talk about where the water in Maplewood comes from. It comes from Lake Itasca, flowing through Bemidji, flowing down past Aiken and St. Cloud, and then it's at Fridley. They pump it out of the Mississippi River and they carry it in 2 huge pipes over to a chain of lakes in North Oaks.
We release it into Charlie Lake and then Pleasant Lake, Sucker Lake, and Vadnais Lake.
And that chain of lakes then flows down past 694, right into the intersection of Highway 36 and Rice Street, right towards Lake McCarran's. And that's where the treatment plant is that treats all the water that St. Paul and some of the suburbs use for our drinking water.
And once we hit Vadnais, we have 2 gatehouses. They each have one 90-inch conduit flowing down to the plant.
Prior to modern day drinking water technology, you could die if you had cholera, if it was a contaminated well.
On the average 40 million gallons a day after day, they're managing that kind of volume.
425,000 people drink the water that we treat here, Maplewood being one of our customers. This is some of the raw water. If you thought of river water, you wouldn't drink it right out of the river, but by the time we're done with it, you would, or you should. What we're trying to do is remove the things from the water that we don't want to drink, bacteria, organic matter, color. If we want to have high quality drinking water, we all need to be good stewards.
You can't pave over paradise and expect to have clean water. You can't throw your lawn clippings and your leaves into the street and not affect clean water.
Herbicides and pesticides, all of that ends up in some water somewhere.
Follow the water. Where does it go? It goes down into a pipe. That pipe goes out into a wetland or a pond, and that pond goes out into a bigger one, and that one goes out into a river, and the river is where we get our water that we drink from.
What happens in the Mississippi River, I think, is easy to feel like, oh, well, that's a few miles away. It doesn't have to do with me, but how all of our watersheds are ending up in there.
Minnesota is one of these unique places on the planet. We should be proud, though, that we have 60% of our water that's clean, because many other states don't even have that luxury. 40% of our watersheds don't meet clean water standards, and that's really over on the western edge of our state and down into the south and central where there's a lot more farming. We're in a unique spot. We're in this place where all of this valuable fresh water is. Even though we have this abundance of water, the right thing for us to do for our neighbors downstream is to conserve and protect.
It's just a really good reminder of how much work goes into making every glass of water that I get out of my tap. And so it's a good, inspiring refresher for me to try and be cognizant of that at home and conserve the water where I can.
It's not somebody else's problem. It's not somebody else. It's ours, all of ours.
Be grateful for the people that designed and built that system, because when you turn on the tap, you have some of the safest, most available fresh water of anyone in the world. And we take it for granted. We think that it's just there because it always has been. It's an amazing infrastructure. Thank goodness for the people before us who built that amazing system. As soon as you are grateful, be concerned about what you're only using what you need and that you're taking care of someone else downstream.
Pretty well done.
Yeah, pretty well done.
And I have to say, Maplewood does have the best water.
Does.
If you've had other cities' water,
Yeah. Oh, that was fabulous.
yeah, we do have good water here. So we're very lucky to be hooked up through that method. Okay, so well, I guess we'll learn more about the waterworks in coming months. I think. I hope so. I guess I'll keep my ears open with the county folks and anybody else from SHPO, see if we hear more of what they're working on. I'm assuming if they're involved, there's going to be meetings, so we'll figure it out.
Mike, can you email out the link to that video?
I can. I just found the link to it, and so I'll send it out to the group right now. As a matter of fact,
Good, yeah.
I'm just sitting here.
Thanks.
Good to share it.
Say, Pete.
Yeah, Bob.
I think Jason might have wondered what that SHPO means, and that's state historical.
Yeah, State Historical Society has a branch that works with historic properties, and this is obviously one of them. So they get involved with projects such as this. There's a lot to it. There's federal guidelines, state guidelines. And I guess I'll have to find out more about what they're thinking. I don't know what's going on yet with them. So, but hopefully there'll be more to come. There is a lot of history tonight too. Number 2 is a big one. That I think we kind of knew this one was coming. The Hazelwood station demolition.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, do you have some tidbits on that?
So this is a long-standing project in the eyes of the city. This is as part of the attempt to modernize the fire service and to rethink about call volume when 85% of the calls are medicals. Where you put your stations and how you respond changes and evolves. And so the current plan is to demolish that station and then rebuild at the same site with a larger, more modern sort of station. The city is in the process of getting bids for what the construction will be of a new station. It's estimated to be about $13.1 million for total cost for that project. As far as the demolition goes, the contractor did submit a demolition permit, and the system worked. We were notified that the permit was being issued.
That helps.
Community development staff and the building official reached out and said, "What would you like us to do?" And so I'm going to offer up to the group that if you want to do a tour or go through and take pictures and go through and look at artifacts, what I need is a date that works best for the group, or we could probably arrange for a couple of different times. The other thing I know is through our communication staff, we have 2,000 photos on file of the station. And so if you wanted to go through and sort, you can also do that. So I make that option available.
Will somebody be there with a camera on demo day, I hope?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think we'll probably have a drone hovering somewhere above just to capture the whole thing.
Beautiful.
Where's the temporary station while they're tearing down and building the new one?
They're going to do a sort of a split. They're going to divide up they're going to just pack everybody into every available space that they can in terms of the replacement project.
Is that lot to the east of the station? Is that part of city property too? Is that going to be included in it?
It's woods, Mike.
Yeah, it's a woods. I mean,
yeah, no. And I'm trying to pull up the council agenda item so I can show the aerial photo of it.
Oh, good.
While you're finding that,
Yeah.
maybe Pete, we can ask John to weigh in and tell us what we should do with
okay.
What's happening there.
So there's the map.
Okay, so they do own the woods.
That is the whole subject parcel. And then this is how it was zoned, public institutional. And then this is and I'm going to just zoom out a little bit to make it a little easier to see. It's another piece. And then here's the timeline for the decision making. It went all the way back to January of 2016. January 2018, the transition to a full-time staffing model. They transitioned, and then in May, I saw architectural firms. They did a needs assessment in 2020. Got a contractor, and then now we're at this phase now where we have a presentation to the Planning Commission in March, and then in July they would start the demolition.
Okay. Is there a picture of what the new one will look like?
I'm trying to find the picture of the new station.
When we take a look at the site, I'm planning to take a look at the woods too, to the east. I
Okay.
don't remember what was there historically yet. I have a metal detector just to check it. Not that I'm thinking finding anything, but I'm just trying to double check. When there used to be the old farmstead around there, I don't remember what was there before, because I think the station's built, what, 74?
74.
73, the station was put in service. Up there, the one room on the north, well, it'd be the north, before you get to the Bay area, that was going to be a second dispatch center in case the one at City Hall went down. Well, about that time, the medic program got going, and they used that to keep all the excess or the extra medical supplies. Then they put the South Station in, and they made one of their room like that down there, the backup radio transmitting in case something happened at City Hall. They'd move the dispatchers down there.
See, Pete, you were talking about that woods. I think I walked through there and it's just woods. It's just, I don't think there was anything there.
Just trying to, I might look at the 1930s aerials and 40s just to see what was there.
It's not a lot of thick timber or anything.
No, it's just overgrown lot, really. Probably since they built the station. I'm just trying to, before
Abel's farm, family farm.
Which one?
Where Hazelwood is. Was it that Abel Schwarzenegger's?
He was kitty corner from it.
Yeah.
Across kitty corner was Emil. Across the street was Hockmuth, I think. No, maybe not Hockmuth. Sorry. Anyway, there was a practice burn for the house there that used to be on that corner. Anyway, well, before I forget, Mike, what is the name of the new station going to be?
Right now, it's going to be the North Fire Station.
Okay. All right.
So this is a site plan. So this is County Road C. And it is a 7-bay fire station. It's hard to see. I know. John can read it because he's an architect. No one else can read it.
Okay.
But it is a 7-bay station. And then there's obviously this will be parking for the staff. Oh, I got bigger.
That's perfect.
This is going to be public parking, and then there's going to be an infiltration basin. So a lot of the trees will be taken out and removed for collection of water. There's another infiltration basin here. The one interesting element is there's going to be a lot of community space, meeting rooms and those kinds of things open to the public, assuming COVID is over, we'll be able to meet in person again and have that be kind of a community gathering space. But there'll be parking for the public. And then I'm going to try to.
I make a motion to change the boring name.
There you go. Yeah. And then this is what it's going to look like.
Oh.
I'd still call it Hazelwood. The problem when you start getting, it's like numbers, you know, you can call it North now. What happens if there's another North?
Right.
You know, that's always a problem when they come up with names.
North 1 or North 2?
Yeah, no, don't get us started. Trust me, we've been there.
Yeah.
I would say keep it Hazelwood just to be, it would be uniquely only that station would always be Hazelwood then. Instead of,
But if you remember, Pete, Hazelwood fire trucks could only have about a 2-inch letter that says Hazelwood right up by before the window. Gladstone wouldn't. It was Gladstone.
well, I know.
So,
We've been there. That's a big place.
Yeah, and you can see there's living quarters would be on the upper story for the fire crew. This would be administrative offices and
they're gonna have a
gathering
fire pole?
spaces. What's
So
that?
Can they have a fire pole so the guys can come down the pole to get out, or they're gonna have to run down the steps?
I don't think that answer's been that hasn't been answered yet. As the person who handles HR and injuries, I always worry about fire poles, but it's not my choice.
So no more hose drying tower?
No, there's machines that will do that for you now.
Okay.
So that's one of the interesting things about the design is that we know that when fire crews are out on a call, their clothing carries carcinogens, and there's a risk that there are a higher risk of cancer and other illnesses because of the chemical spray, because of the smoke and ash that gets on everything. And so there's actually a decontamination unit. So when you come in from a call, you decontaminate your gear, you move into the shower, you wash that off, and then you get into your new gear. So from a standpoint of design for safety, it's really impressive what they are trying to do here.
Well, I suppose the matter at hand is us trying to find a date we can go take a look at the existing station. There is a photo board in there and such. Has there been plans to move that to the new one, or I mean, there was some kind of display already in there.
Yeah, there is in the initial plan. There's about 400 to 500 square feet of the lobby is designed to be a historical center for people to tell the story of the fire department.
Oh,
beautiful!
I'd love to see more of that. Yeah,
kind of almost like a vision wall. You start on the left and you kind of work your way around and you get to today.
Is there a cornerstone with the year on it?
I don't know the answer to that question.
It has a cornerstone of 1973 on Hazelwood Station.
Yeah, there is one there, Pete. Yeah, there is one there.
The reason why I'm going with that is
I spent a few nights up there.
Is there a time capsule in that cornerstone? Does anybody know? That'd be something to keep an eye out for when it's coming down. I would take out the cornerstone first. And the city used to do time capsules and cornerstones once upon a time. So it's possible there's one in there. I don't know. But if there is one, there would be a hollow for one. You probably want to save it anyway for the new station. So they probably want to keep that nice if there is one. It sounds like there is. So I guess that'd be one thing to put on the list. So I guess we can send out emails later and try to find a date to go. How much time do we got, Mike?
Well, you've got, I would say about 2 months, but I wouldn't push it.
Don't push it.
Sooner if you can get it in a month, that would be better.
Okay. So maybe if you have a date, I mean, we have enough time to prepare. I mean, certainly, John, I'd love you to be there too, because you're the architect, so you can tell us what to take pictures of. Yeah, there's a lot to take pictures of in there, so it'd be nice to document it pretty well. I always felt bad about their Dalmatian always getting stolen. Nobody stole the fire hydrant, but they'd like to steal the Dalmatian. So,
Would be
I
have
suppose
a-
there isn't much we could do at this point except to get together and document. And Mike, let us know. I guess shoot us a date or two, you know, and I'll take time off of work to go do this. So
Yeah, and I'll have Chief Mondor kind of give the history of the plan, and so he'll be the tour guide.
okay, that'd be great. And I hope they're still serving hot dogs and Tootsie Rolls at Halloween at the new station. That's very important. That's what the residents around there told me. So they have fond memories of hot dogs at Halloween there. So,
Fond memories of hot dogs.
yes.
Sounds
Now
like a
trick
name
or
of a
treating, you
movie
stop
or
at the
an
fire
album.
station for hot dogs. And they used to do it 4th of July too. So
All the
Pete,
cities you
Pete,
have.
yeah, Bob.
maybe we should have John tell us, you know, off the cuff right now what we should be doing
Okay.
with this.
Yeah. Got some ideas, John?
What you should be doing?
Yeah.
What, do the tour and document stuff, take pictures. Would there be a time capsule or anything like that? Would they have done that?
I wouldn't rule it out. It might have one. I don't know if there's anybody around that built it anymore.
Yeah, you're talking about the woods next door when they built it. You might have a bunch of stuff buried back there.
Well, that's what I'm wondering about from the old farms. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Oh,
Maybe some unusual stuff buried.
Ah,
I don't know. We'll take a look.
Okay.
And the snow's gone, of course, now, so at least we can look. But Bob, you said you walked through there. At least you didn't see anything.
No.
Are they using it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're still using it.
So it's an active fire station. Well, Mike, I guess send us some, I guess, a time or two, and then, yeah, if there's a tour guide, it'd be nice to have a tour guide.
Yep.
We did the same thing with the old Gladstone station. I'm glad we did because we found some interesting things there when they were getting rid of that one.
Is there a day of the week that people like better than others? Is it easier to be Fridays? Is it easier to be Wednesdays? Does it matter?
What was the first day?
Is there a day of the week that you would rather do it on?
Probably Wednesday or Friday, maybe. Mondays are usually tough for me, at least.
Are we thinking during the day or afternoon or?
Probably during the day.
Well, that's a good question. We could probably do it late afternoon,
That
or
would be
better.
Yeah.
Beautiful for work purposes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
I've been in there since it was a voting station, so.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Mike, for setting that up.
Yeah.
Any more on the fire station? Guess we'll find out more. The tour.
And I'm good, you know, so on our city website, we've got a full web page dedicated to the project, so you can look through each of the things as they are there. And I just sent you that link.
Okay. We'll have to take a look.
Yep.
Did he have the plans from that? When they
Yeah,
built it?
so they do. The plans are out there.
Not for the new one, but for the old one.
Not for the old one, I don't think.
I think the building department probably keeps them.
Well, I will tell you, we have one storage closet that's full of plan sets, and it's for every road and every building we've ever done. So I would imagine it exists. I just don't know where it is in that room. But if you're ever interested, come on over. I can let you in. It's a pretty big room, and it's full of rolls of, you know, giant reams of paper.
Well, they didn't scan them all in.
That was the dream, was to
Mike,
scan them all in, but nobody did it.
Mike, that's a good project for you. Go in there and lock yourself in and nobody will find you for a couple days.
Yeah, I'd like to see that someday.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for the old 1970s aerial photograph records of the city. Somewhere they're in there. Those are nice pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be good of this site too. Okay, going on to C3 HPC Strategic Work Plan 2021. We are filling up our agenda already, aren't we?
Well, that's good. I want to share, and I feel bad that I didn't know this existed, but this was an attachment to the 2040 comprehensive plan that was approved in 2019. And in terms of history of Maplewood, I don't have any because I got here in September of 2019. So this document is about as old as I am, but what it has in there, I think, is pretty helpful. It's a historical resources section of the comprehensive plan. And this is included in there. And it talks about the purpose. It talks about the ordinances. It talks about the commission. It talks about the certified local government status. It really does a nice job about talking about the history. Talks about historic landmarks, century homes, landmark program. And in about 10 pages, it summarizes everything, including a nice map of where everything is. And then the other thing that it has is kind of a work plan with goals about to integrate preservation into planning and procedures, and talks about things that we can do for work. From where I sit, this is the strategic plan that we could deliver and operate on. Each segment has goals and policies about identifying the structures, identifying city-owned and government-owned resources. It talks about increasing the knowledge of the history, promoting and appreciating historic preservation, collaborating with partners, and then it has action steps for each of them. And I have to ask, did anybody know this existed?
We worked on it.
You did? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jenny helped that. Jenny
Yeah.
put that together.
Got it. But this is, I think this was really helpful. And so what I'm going to propose to do is throw it out to this group and say, each of these 6 items that are there become a standing agenda item segment. And so if the St. Paul Regional Water would fit in right into that partnership and civic owned entities, and that's how you'd structure the agendas going forward tied to this document. So
very good.
Good idea.
Mike?
Yeah.
That article that I keep bringing up for August of 19, if you look at that, part of that is in what you just showed.
Okay. Which part?
If you, the history, of all the stuff that we should be doing as a commission. That I gave I don't know how many pages this whole thing reads, but most of it is on 7, 8, and 9 of that. The minutes for August 13th of 2000. And that's somewhat what Jenny put together in that outline that you have.
Okay.
With some minuses or what have you. But yeah, that's what the whole thing is because if we don't upgrade the ordinances, we're not going to get past square one on a lot of this stuff. And we have to be integrated with the other commissions because they basically say anything over 50 years should come and be noted that we are looking at it.
Yeah, Richard, every 10 years we update the our list.
Yeah, but it says in the thing, anything in the city that's over 50 years, any projects that come through should come through us that's over 50, that project is 50 years or better. Mary, or Margaret, your phone is going, or telephone.
Hey,
Yeah, I like that.
it's okay, honey.
Aw. No, I'm glad Mike, I'm glad you brought that back up because that's a good thing to have. it helps us out a lot to have that guidance again. And
yeah, and to Richard's point, I understand you want to talk about 2000, but as I tried to share last time, the ordinance that's written in the books that I have to work from is approved in 2013. So that replaces whatever was done previously. So I can't go back in time. I can only operate from 2013 and forward.
But what I'm getting at, Mike, is what's in that August of 20 is a start. We never, and I've been on the commission almost as long, and the first time I found it was lately. It's just, well, we got to take that, and I'm saying we got to change the ordinance, work on bringing the ordinance into what they said then and now to now.
Well, Richard, the original ordinance that they did in 96 was we were basically formed to form a historical society.
No, this is after that.
I know.
You gotta.
Hey, Richard.
You haven't read it.
Richard, the original commission was supposed to sunset in 2000, and then they rewrote in 2000 and revisited again later. We weren't a CLG in 2000, so they had to rewrite the ordinance when we became a certified local government later. We certainly were not in 2000, so there's no way they could have kept that original ordinance. So we had one in 96, one in 2000. They had to redo it when we got the CLG status. So, I mean, I was there in 96 when they did it back then. So, I mean,
I was on, we never got what I found in the paperwork when I looked, Pete. You got to remember that sign that you want to take down, you were president of the society. The society gave you permission to do that. So that permit is actually, you never turned it over to the society.
Well, I was also chair of the commission in 96 too. So, I mean,
you're confusing the commission with the society. You got to separate your brain.
I do have a right and left side of my brain. So
there's a commission and there's a society.
Yes, that's true.
You were president of the society when that sign was put in.
And I was also chair of the commission back then too, Richard. I was on the commission.
It was not in the commission's task to do it.
I was on the commission
because I talked to Steve and he basically told me what it was.
Well, if Steve ever wants to visit our commission, I'd love to have him because Steve is a wealth of knowledge. He helped me put the sign up. So
who do you think I got my information from?
I know.
Who's wearing the referee uniform next meeting?
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I forgot where we're at. Oh, that's right. Okay, so the 2019 document, Mike, could you send us a link to that too? I got it buried somewhere. I know it, but it'd be good to have a refresher. So we'll start with that. And I guess we have a lot of work already for 2021. Let's see here. Moving on to C4 training calendar. So I did see something on there, didn't I? From the state, right?
Yep. So the state has invited. Let me just pull that up. So the state has created a training opportunity called Main Street Now. It's an opportunity to do training and learning at a conference. It's an online conference, April 12th through the 14th. We can pay for members to attend. Applications are due on the 29th, but it's really around certified local government commissioners or staff can participate in this. They'll cover the fee. The website is about recovery and resilience, about how to step forward after the pandemic. It wants to talk about equity and inclusion work, focusing on that work, and then small business entrepreneurship. So this is an opportunity for anybody that wants to participate. The city has access to a scholarship for people who would want to talk about it. There's tons of workshops and sessions around historic preservation and preserving a main street. And so I would encourage folks, if you're interested, to reach out to me for training. The other thing I would want to know is there a certain topic that people want to have brought to this group? Richard talks about training. I don't know what that looks like or what you would want or need.
Well, if anything that helps us out with the certified local government part, or anything with the
it gives us, they do have some, they have a class on applying for grants and small grant opportunities.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've done that. We used to have a great grant writer on the commission, Brenda. She got us some good stuff. And I know there's grants. I get, does anybody else get emails from Michael Coop? He sends along the grant information. So there is money out there to be had. Just have to go through the process to do it. So Mike, I see two mics now. It's interesting. Mike and the AV room mic. Pretty good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Grant, I don't know. I guess I'd have to look at it to see what they're offering. There's a lot of, it's good to keep up to speed on this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Things change. So I don't know, any other commissioners, so some of you have been to the trainings before when it's been an out state, right? I know Richard has, Bob, you have. Jason, I don't know if you probably haven't been to any. John, you went to one, right?
Yeah.
Margaret, did you go to one?
No.
Okay, I had never been. I always wanted to, but it's just the timing never worked out. So those have been, I've always heard great networking ideas from those, and I don't know how they're going to do that on the Zoom, but there's nothing in person planned, Mike, I'm guessing this year. Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't want to say not, because September might be a totally different sort of work environment for folks, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. They do have their online training manual, but it's just a series of PDF slides that talk about the role and why we're here. And so it's not interactive. It's just like it's a book kind of format.
Okay.
They're not having any training that they have. So is there something that people are interested in learning more about?
Boy. In the past, there's been good talks on what to look for in building. John would like this on we're not architects. We're not really, good at recognizing styles of buildings. And that's been one thing that's always been interesting to learn more about, because I don't know much about them either.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we had some people remember that we had a guest speaker who came in all excited about the Group Health Think building on White Bear and County Road B. Didn't know it was historic architectural design, and no idea. And I don't remember who that was, but they said exactly what that was supposed to be. And that's the kind of thing that I think we need in the city, is gems like that have a story, but we really don't know about, like the original Premier Bank building that's still there by Target, North St. Paul, even though it's not in Maplewood, but that was like the first Premier Bank building. And now it's, it was Maplewood State Bank. Now it's Premier, but there's like little stories on the original buildings. That'd be kind of neat to know more about architectural styles. I know there's been some classes on that. I don't know. John, anybody?
Well, on that context study, they went through all the different buildings in Maplewood.
That's true. So that was really good to have that. It was like a good start. Suppose someday we'll have to do an update of it. I've got a lot of notes that things have changed since they did the study.
Yeah, and I'm going to share my screen so that when you talk about that context study, they identified sort of these potential sites for National Register listing. And I know the Forest Lawn Cemetery is at the top of that list, and that was mentioned a couple of meetings ago as potential interest area for the year. I can make it a little bit bigger. There we go.
Yeah, we've looked at all these before.
Whatever happened to the cemetery?
It's right at the top there. Well, the mausoleum.
You know, we never got beyond just the initial talks with the folks in charge there. They had some great history, though. I mean, a wonderful history of the site.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's still, I think that would still be a good property.
And it's Pat Hogan that we.
Oh, Pat.
No, he's talking about the poor farm, aren't you, John?
Yeah, right.
Oh, the poor farm. Oh, I thought you were talking about the cemetery. Oh, you're talking about the Ramsey County. Which one? John, you're talking about the Ramsey County Cemetery?
Yeah, Ramsey County Poor Farm.
Oh, okay. Yep. That was
down.
I'm trying to remember now. We were talking about, well, the cemetery is already protected as a historical park under Ramsey County. But I'm trying to think what exactly were we discussing again when Ginny left?
Well, they were trying to make a marker, or, wasn't it to identify the property lines, I think.
Maybe it was to define the cemetery better or something like that. There was some idea.
The horseshoe pit right on top of it.
I think part of the Ramsey County Park agreement was if they ever abandon the horseshoe pits, it becomes part of the park. Because it is on the cemetery.
We had a list of all the people buried there too.
Yes, we do. 3,000. A lot from the flu, the pandemic of 1918. That's where a lot of them wound up.
1980 or 1880.
No, 1918. Kind of got off track of what I was thinking of here.
Well, so that was related to we're still at the sort of training calendar.
Oh yeah, okay.
If there's anything, I can send you the links to what's available online, but there's nothing in person that we can do unless it's so it's either online or it's passive reading. It's those are the only things that are there right now.
There is something at the State Historical Society that rings a bell with this, and they're trying to document COVID-19. And I encourage all commissioners to take as many pictures as you can while we're still in the pandemic, because I think it's going to end hopefully pretty soon. One I haven't gotten a picture yet is the COVID-19 testing station at the Maplewood Mall. Perfect historical picture right there. I've taken some, but if anybody thinks of things that would be good pictures, that would be good. And the State Historical Society is collecting them too. So I don't know if they'd have that as part of their training, but I know they're working on it. They did have a call out for things. So when they get the vaccination station set up, that'd be another thing to take pictures of. I'm sure we'll have that eventually too. So
well, your governor knows about the vaccination site. That's where he got the COBA or the virus.
Okay. So anyway, take pictures if you can. If anybody's got any ideas, let me know too, because there's things I'm not even thinking of that would be good pictures, I'm sure. But yeah, Mike, if you send us the training, it'd be nice to take a look at it.
Okay.
Is there a cost?
It can be covered through either a scholarship or we have money to cover it.
Okay.
How about if you could somehow have them record it so we could see it in
I don't think they'd allow that.
As long as you're not putting it out to other people in the group or selling it to other groups.
Well,
And
we'll
you
have to
give
look
them
into.
credit for-
Well, thank you, Mike, for covering the cost of the training or the city. They have in the past. So this is good. I'm assuming it's a little cheaper if it's not in person. We'll take a look. Okay, moving on. I can't even read my own writing. 5. What did I have for 5? I don't know what that is.
Is it the August 2000 HPC?
Oh yeah.
Formation.
Okay. All right. Did you have anything more on that, Richard?
No, I'm giving up on it because it has ideas that this commission should be looking into and getting the city to coordinate so that we have to update our ordinance, and this would plug it in.
Yeah.
To give us feel or get the projects coming through us. The projects won't come through us if it's not in our ordinance. And the only way we're going to get it on the ordinance is if we go through and see what the stuff says, and then get the ordinance updated.
Well, we put in a request to get the council packets before. Shouldn't it be just as simple as that? Just send us a link to when the council packets are available. It's public records, so
but
I think what Richard is talking about is the minutes in the council meeting in August of 2000. I think what we need to do is circulate that so we're all aware of that and talking about the same thing.
Part of the complication is back in '99, the commission and the society were joint meetings. So that was part of the problem. Okay. I'm looking at I have the minutes from back then. Here they are. And I'm trying to figure out exactly how the pedigree of this happened. And so one big, huge thing happened at that time too, is see if anybody can guess what it was. Right then happened. And it kind of, everything was in disarray a little bit.
9/11 or what?
The farm.
Farm.
They moved the farm, Pete.
Yep.
And Bob Overby.
Yes.
Was an instigation, and at the farm, we picked the commission for the city. We took we made 2 from the west, 2 from the east, 2 from north, and on the south, and then 1 was a floater. It has since changed because they just we're not getting everybody from all the parts because we wanted to include all of Maplewood, because the people in the south feel that they're not getting represented. The people on us west siders don't feel it's all everything rolled along Gladstone.
And back in '99, when the Burchell Farm was going on, we had a special farm committee too, which was also part of the whole what was going on. So there was a lot happening in that little window of time there.
When they had the farm, then they broke I know it was kind of combined there, but after that, the commission basically broke away from the society because there was a big fight over. The people that were in the society thought the commission was going to run the society.
Yeah, I think that came later.
No, that was about the same time.
I got some reading to do, Richard. So I guess I don't know.
I got the actual minutes that I had printed out and gave to everybody.
Okay. Well, I will look into it. But I can tell you that Robert Overby was not a commissioner yet in '99. He came late. I mean, he was a society member, but not a commission member. He joined the commission later.
No, he never had the commission.
Oh, he never was on it?
No, he
Oh,
was
okay.
only on society, but he wrote the minutes here, and that's when we were notified on the society that the council approved having a commission and not
Okay.
land or not sunsetting it.
Okay. Well, more reading. I'm going to take more reading into it. So,
Because
all right.
you got to remember, right now there's 6 of us that have the decision what we do, not just one.
Yes, correct.
And I think that person knows who I'm talking about.
I guess I wasn't following that close. Anyway, I'm looking at the old commissioners, and I missed a lot of those old people. There's some good people that are no longer with us. So, okay, moving on to D1, 1868 rail bed, local designation. I got kind of derailed with all the other stuff going on, so I haven't done much more on it. I'll confess.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Did you get any response from the letter that Bob sent to the project team? Did you hear anything about any updates?
It's interesting. They basically said, this is just the initial step. There's a lot more to go through with this project. This is just, I mean, like they throw out like percentages of what they're doing, like 10%. There's so much more to be done. And Bob is encouraged that he might be able to get a grant to do some archaeological digging for the for some of the things that are outside the realm of what the project is. So there's more to be told, especially when COVID gets over and you can start getting together and talk about this stuff more. So
okay.
So anyway, Bob, I don't know. When was the last society meeting? Has there been any updates there on that end?
No.
Okay.
The other thing, Pete,
yes,
is because we are a society or a commission, we have another grant area that we can draw from.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Oh, I don't disagree with that at all.
Have a good writer to write for a grant to do the studies on that property, that railroad section. I walked the section and they haven't changed the rail bed from when I remember the tracks there.
Oh, sure.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, that is true. So I'm gonna lose some track of what I was trying to say on this thing. But
you're not getting Alzheimer's, are you?
Huh?
You're not getting Alzheimer's, are you?
I thought I was, but I forgot. But with the good news with the 1868, there's plenty of time, is what we learned. It's not like they're shoveling the ground. The other projects kind of are quicker, like the fire station and the waterworks. Those are much farther along than the light rail busway. So that's what I basically learned was, there's a lot still to be done. And then when that gets to that point, then we could do more about the rail bed part, I guess. They have to still figure out exactly what they're going to disturb. There's that too. We don't know that yet.
Which area on the rail bed is the best to walk?
So I would go on Jarvis Avenue. Basically, you take English to Jarvis, take a right, like you're going to go like do the loop around. It's by the MnDOT building. Right across the street from the MnDOT building, there's a little park with is there tennis courts or something there?
That's Harvester.
Harvest Park.
Mm-hmm.
If you park there, and then you could just walk north along there, look to your right, and you'll see the old rail bed. And it's very small. It's just a small hump, and then there's a few cut throughs that people have cut trails through, and you can get a good look at it. So you walk that up to County Road C, you got the gist of it. And now that the snow's gone and there's no leaves, this would be a good time to take a look. So if anybody wants to walk, it's kind of neat. Once you see what it is, you really go, wow, that's amazing that it's still there. After all those years, 150 years, it's still there, in pretty good shape, some of it. So,
yeah, but most of that rail bed from Larpenteur all the way up, Pete, is all pretty much the same as it was when they had rails there.
Yeah, and then when they replaced the 1868 rails with the, I'll throw it out there, when they made it a double line. I'm not a railroad historian, but once they made it a double railroad in the 1880s, they bypassed the original curvy, meandering rail bed and made it straight as a line, basically to White Bear Lake from here.
We also have to remember anything over 50 years is historic. Too.
Well, funny you bring that up, Richard. If you want to see something really, really old, if you walk the rail bed north of the junction of the Gateway Trail and the Vento, look to your right and there's a fence. That's the original cow fence from the early 1900s, and it's still there. We have it in pictures from 1926. And there's not much left of the fence, but if you look carefully, they had a cattle fence along the railroad to stop the cows from going on the tracks, obviously, right? So it'd be instant hamburger.
Plus you got the old County Road D bridge still there.
That's right. And apparently that's going to stay. They're not going to mess with that bridge. That's what they told us. That's going to stay there. I'm not exactly.
If we're going to lock it, we might as well lock it from A to B.
Yeah, well, they won't. Yeah, they're not going to disturb that County Road B or D as in dog bed right there. Anyway, getting off track with that, but there'll be more on the 1868 project for sure. Going on to D2, Moose Lodge. Give us the sad details, Mike.
Well, during that cold spell, we think that a pipe broke and just kept running and filling the basement with up to 10 feet of water. John, I think you might have been the last person in there to take pictures with Mike Martin, and except for the fire department that got called out to respond. And so we're having structural engineers look at it, but it's the Moose Lodge is not long for the world. There's significant damage, and it's just it's too bad.
Did they pump out the water? There's not still 10 feet of water in there.
No,
right?
no, they pumped out the water, and we were able to get it reasonably dry. But it was really unfortunate and messy. And that's another thing that, I mean, we've already got good documentation and pictures. But I don't think we're going to let anybody else inside at this point. But we're going to have to go and do a demolition phase.
We can't take a swimsuit tour. 10 feet of water.
Oh.
You might get a light or a shocking experience if you get down there.
Thank you. And I know that sounds like there's news with the new Moose Lodge. If you look on their website, they purchased a building that's near where the old skating rink was, right off Jarvis. And it's a nice little tidy building, and they're not going to have to build a building where you saw the sign D. So
is that a pretty big organization?
Huh?
Do they have a lot of members?
I don't know. I don't know much about their.
Last time I talked to one of them over there, the membership was dwindling down.
A lot of those old groups.
Then I heard also where they were going to build. Sounds like they're going to put another apartment complex or what have you in that parcel of land.
But at least the good news is the Moose Lodge will live on. So I'm hoping what I'm curious about when they open the new building, are they going to have some of the history from the old one in it? And so if anybody has contacts there, it'd be kind of neat. I think they did save their signs, and the 963, originally they're on Payne Avenue. They weren't always in Maplewood.
Yep.
So that's some great news. I mean, it's sad about what happened to the building, but I'm glad the Moose will live on us.
They're always looking for new members.
They are. That's true. Yep. My dad was a member for years and years.
Yeah. There's a lot of work to do at the new property because there's very little on-site parking. So they're going to have to do a lot of clear cutting of the trees behind the property. But it's the little building just east of the Saints North.
And if I know those trees, it's 99.9% buckthorn.
Well, and I'll share. I mean, I just pulled up real quick. I pulled up a map so everybody can get a sense. I'll zoom out a little bit. So here's 36.
Oh, I guess there is bigger trees.
It's this little, it used to be Access Power and
Oh, wow.
Supplies. So it's that little building there.
Okay.
And they're going to need to create some parking here. So if you're a lodge member, I think they're going to be asking for a chainsaw and an axe and some pickup trucks and some other stuff. So there's a lot of work ahead of them, but they were pretty excited and they get council approval.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. It's good that they still got a home.
Yep.
They are big supporters of Boy Scouts and of the community. Long ago, they were very involved with Maplewood activities on Frost Avenue and everything. Sometime we'll have to do a little special on the Moose Lodge.
Oh, sure.
So let's see what else.
It was the Moose Lodge and the Lions clubs that did a lot of support.
Mhm.
I mean, I think they also helped Parkside get the Jaws of Life.
Yeah, North Maplewood Lions did a lot of great work. Absolutely. Yes.
It's a group I belong to.
Oh, do you? North Maplewood?
Yep.
Oh, great.
Obviously, I wasn't around then, but I'm currently a member.
Where are they meeting now, North Maplewood?
Well, we are doing Zoom meetings.
Oh, yeah.
But we, so we're having our dinner meetings at Green Mill because we used to meet at, what is that place next to the car dealership? I can't remember the name.
Golden's.
Yeah. Obviously, we can't meet there anymore. We're going to start having our business meetings at the Salvation Army. They have agreed to open up for us. We have a member that's executive director over there. So
great.
It just worked out perfectly.
I gave a talk there once. I still have my little lion they gave me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Visitor presentations, Maplewood Historical Society. Bob, do you got tidbits for us?
Oh, not really. I don't.
Okay. Not much going on.
Meeting over in Little Canada with the cold weather, but we're gonna get back to the barn pretty soon.
Okay. The barn's a little airy this time of year, so.
Yeah, and there's the weddings are down.
Okay.
Hopefully the performance will come about in the summer, but we haven't worked on that.
Okay.
That's it.
I hope everybody got a chance to read Bob Jensen's Golden's article. How many? They had 3 fires. Is it 3?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was in on one of them.
You're in one of them? Yeah. The
I went
Pied
down
Piper.
with a Gladstone or a Hazelwood guy and with a rookie, and Hazelwood come flying over top of me. It took my rookie out.
I know firefighters get excited when there's a fire. I know. I remember the stories.
He laid holes from KSTP Tower.
Oh boy.
The building all the way up 61 across Beam and across 61 to Golden's. And I was going to work, some little lady, you're not supposed to cross the fire hose. She did and got stuck. Got out of the medic rig that we were going back to the station to go to work, lifted her off, and we told her that there's a nice gentleman that was going to give her a nice piece of cardboard.
Uh-oh. Well, it's a great history if you haven't read it yet. It's
Rick, what year was that?
1980.
Oh, okay.
Was that the last fire?
81.
Because they had to put sprinklers after that, I think.
I was negative 1 years old.
They finally ran water up there, so you don't have to. They didn't have to lay all that hose.
Yeah, that's good.
3 loads, 3 trucks of 4-inch hose went up there.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. Anything else with the society?
Every time we have one of these meetings, I remind myself I need to join, and then I always immediately forget. I'm not going to this time.
Quick, Bob, send him a
I'm
registration.
on the website on my phone right now.
Yeah, we need Jason.
Oh, Margaret?
Yeah. Red Barn sale coming, don't they, May 3rd?
Yeah, 3rd or 4th.
Something.
I heard those are a real hit.
Yeah.
I think they're having an Easter candy giveaway or bunny.
Yeah, there is something.
Too, aren't they, Bob?
Yeah, like last year.
Okay.
Come on now, let's get a good report out of you.
Well, it'll be we're a month ahead. So Margaret will bring that up in April, and then the Red Barn sale is going to be in May, or maybe it's June.
No, I think it's in May because I think
May.
it's when I'm going to be coming back from a trip.
Okay.
Oh.
May 3rd or 4th or something like
Yeah.
that, and then there's a rain date,
Ooh,
and then there's plans to have one in the fall too.
I think that's a
Right.
great idea.
It is. It's wonderful.
And they've become quite the hit.
Yeah.
Anything else question wise, society?
The Easter egg giveaway is March 28th from 10 to 2.
March 28th, 10 to 2.
Yep. Take your photo with the Easter bunny. You get to sign up for children ages 2 to 12.
Oh, I don't make it.
That means all of us can go up there. We're all that age, aren't we?
Yeah.
It is free, but you have to register so they can make sure you got spacing and they know how many people are going to show up.
That's good. Well, spread the word out on that. Is that it for society? Well, the only other thing I got is I should let everybody know my term expires in April, and I'm planning on stepping down, not renewing my term.
What?
I've been on it a while, so I thought I'd just take a break from the commission for a few years and still be active in history, of course. You know, I hopefully I'll get back. If you guys can invite me back as a speaker anytime, if you want to hear me ramble on about some historical things. So
We need someone to butt heads with Richard. You can't leave.
I'll have to pass the torch, the baton to somebody else on that one. So,
we don't butt heads. I just remind him he's just a little younger, and you have to bring him up to speed.
He tells me I got to respect my elders. So, but anyway,
he's a good kid.
So spread the word. There'll be an open spot on the commission. So if anybody else wants to join in, get Steve
and I won't be the
Carlson back
rookie.
on there, Richard.
What?
Get Steve Carlson back. I came back. He could come back too.
So he's that, and I'm trying to get the other one that I tried, but I haven't heard from her.
Okay.
I don't know what happened with that deal. I've been kind of just sitting back.
So we did put in the Maplewood Living for people who are interested. So hopefully we get some applications.
Yeah.
This does mean, Pete, that you are eligible to probably be a recipient of the Heritage Award. That's one of the criteria is you can't be a member. So I don't know. I mean, we still have to give Gary Bastian.
I was gonna say we're still behind. We still got Gary.
Yeah. So once we get to be in person, we'll get cake and we'll do the production, but maybe more than one.
Are they going to take all that plexiglass down then at City Hall once they get out of that Cobra deal? Look, every time I go over there, I'm waiting for them to build a plexiglass box that you step in and they wheel you to where you're supposed to be. That's the next step that they're going to do.
Are we still meeting Zoom next month, or are we going to be in person in April? Do we know yet?
I would guess it would be still Zoom because we're operating off of where the governor's executive order follows. Ours is loosely tied to that, so I think they're probably going to run the same way. I don't think it's going to change in a month.
Okay, just checking. Well, that's all I got. If anybody's got anything else.
I was gonna add something. The spring clean day, I think is next month. I know we're a little ahead of that, but is it April 17th, Mike? I believe it is. I can't hear you, Mike. I think you're muted. But the other thing I was going to mention was about the Moose Lodge. I am good friends with Kent Wilcox, who is a Moose Lodge member, and he was the president. I don't know if he currently is, but I'll ask him about if they're going to add any historical perspectives from the other building. So I'll let you know at the next meeting.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, you, Nikki.
Appreciate it. Well, I don't have anything else. If anybody wants to make a motion to adjourn.
I want to stay for a while.
There you go, John. I like that thought.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
All
second
right,
it.
Bob. Then John's the second. All's in favor? Aye.
Thank
See
you.
you guys in a month.
Take care.
Okay.
Thank you.
April 17th is cleanup day.
Okay. That's when we collect historical items usually.
And the 8th or 9th of
We used
April,
to.
the 9th of April is our next meeting.
9th of April. Okay.
Yep.
Good to
Good.
know. I'll write that down.
All right.
Well-
Thank you, everybody.
Happy Easter.